Warning! Warning! This podcast is not for the easily offended. We are two guys that think everything and anything can or is a joke.
There is no limits to what our minds may come up with. But understand, these thoughts are all in the nature of comedy, and nothing said here should be taken as gospel. Neither of us are Jesus.
Our testosterone is just too damn high, man.
Fuck yeah, brother!
Anyway, welcome to the show. Prepare to witness a hurricane of humor and thunderous thoughts as we take conversations on a whirlwind to the limits. Hell yeah, brother.
I don't care about humor. Sam, without humor, there's only Hitler.
Do you think that Tarzan was a virgin whenever he met Jane, or was he clapping monkey ass before that?
AIDS. My last name may be Todd, but I'm no retard.
No.
You look like a guy that only watches Simpsons porn. You're a fucking homosexual.
Free to homie Sean Connery, dude. He didn't do
Dude,
nothing wrong.
from his grave, give me a Ouija board. Let's talk about bitches, Sean. Hanging out with me is like a ride on the Titanic. You didn't expect it, but you're getting wet. If I'm in Bangkok and get fooled, but I don't hate it, am I bisexual?
What if I texted you something like, Daddy, I'll throw it back on you?
If you ever text me the words daddy, I will block you.
Of course the conspiracies about the Jews are real, because their Holy Land is called
Israel.
and treated like a Twizzler and twist her up in Naked Twister.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to clapcleats.com. Promo code Hurricane of Thoughts. That's Thoughts, T-H-O-T-S.
What's good, Hurricane homies? Back for another Tubular Tuesday. It's your boy, the Juggernaut Jester Josh. And it is the last podcast of 2023. So here's the rundown for the episode. Okay, so I've got some news stories as usual. I've got a couple jokes I've been working on. We're going to start running those by you. I'm going to start a weekly thing of running jokes by you. Okay, so that's going to be my new thing that I'm going to start doing. I've got a couple of them down here. I also have a debate for you guys. Fox News and Uber Eats put out a report today, and I got some interesting takes on that. And then at the end, we are going to go through this notebook right here that's basically a little over the last year. So basically a summary of the last year as my notebook tells it. Okay? So starting at episode 93, all the way till, this is episode 143, so we're 6 episodes shy in this notebook of a full year. And we will go through it and see if we can't find any good stuff to giggle about. And anything you guys want to talk about, we'll fucking run it down. Shot time button is available for viewers and whatnot. Jeremiah, you're limited, you son of a bitch. Alright, but let's get into it. Okay, now, if you're wondering, now I know you're not, because nobody ever is, where Sam is. You know, the sausage-slinging samurai. My apologies. Sam has been kidnapped, well, I would say forcefully recruited, by the Killing Kangaroo Clan. Now, I don't approve of that name that they chose, but, you know, as all companies do, they make a lot of bad decisions. And this company's making a lot of bad decisions, including changing their fucking identity to the Killer Kangaroo Clan. Now, I'm not sure if you're up to date on American history, but those initials just don't jive well with a lot of people. Now, I know that's not entirely their customer base to begin with, but I still don't think you should alienate an entire group of people. Company. But anyway, Sam has been forcefully indentured, at least for this Tuesday, by the Killer Kangaroo Clan. So, we'll move on and get straight to the facts. And the facts of the matter are this. Speaking of kangaroos, there's an escaped kangaroo in Canada. Now, I have questions. I read the entire article. Now, I'll read you the headline of the article. Escaped kangaroo captured after punching Canadian officer in the face. Now, that is the title of this article from the Canadian News. Now, I read the Killer Kangaroo Clan. Yes, sir. Now, I don't know if that's how they spell it. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're like, I don't know. I don't know how they spell it, but, you know, it is suspect. So, escaped kangaroo captured after punching Canadian officer in the face. I read the entire article. I don't care. I've seen 100 videos from Australia of kangaroos punching people or doing cool stuff. You know, mixed martial arts. Or mixed mammal arts, if you will. Is it a mammal? Is kangaroo a mammal? Is kangaroo a... No, it's a marsupial, I think. Wait, the red kangaroo isn't an amazing mammal, okay? Marsupial mammals. Alright, dude, so marsupial is just a version of mammal. Fuck yeah, dude. I love history, not fucking, whatever the fuck this thing is. It's a marsupial mammal. That's what the fucking Google said, dude. And Google's never wrong, dude. They run the world, dude. Okay, so, oh, my fucking paper got wet in my new notebook. Oh, Chad, I had to buy a new notebook. This one ran out of pages. But anyway. I read the entire article. I'm not worried about, you know, are kangaroos, you know, fucking doing mixed marsupial arts, you know what I mean? My whole question is why the fuck is there a kangaroo in Canada? I read at least 1,000 words in this article. Not one mention of how the kangaroo got there. Are we fucking serious, dude? This has got to be a joke. Nobody in the newsroom. I know journalism is dead, okay? I'm well aware, okay? COVID proved that even to the regular people, that what I've known for a long time. True journalism is dead. But even fake journalism, nobody in the Canadian newsroom was like, hey, yo, why is there a kangaroo in Canada, yo? I've got no leads. I'm gonna have to call Sherlock Holmes or fucking the Columbo or goddamn Inspector Gadget or Batman. You know, the version of Batman where he's a detective, not just some fucking guy who hangs out in alleys and beats up people in leather coats. You know what I mean? It's a marsupial. That's all I'm saying, dude. But, so, let's play a little game. What do we think caused there to be a wild kangaroo on the loose? Now, I know what your first instinct is. It came from a zoo. That's what I thought too. But when have you ever known the news not to say an escaped zoo kangaroo? Because we all know the news, like myself sometimes, loves to rhyme their titles. Okay? If it came from a zoo, they would have used the word zoo with kangaroo. At least one of the channels. And I'm going to say some dumbass owned one. 100%, dude. Because it did not come from a zoo. So there's some rich dude in Canada who, you know, knew a guy who knew a guy that somehow smuggled from Australia. Most likely. That's where they come from. Well, then again, if we use human logic, you know, if I smuggled a black person into Canada, they come from Africa. But, you know, there's a lot of them here, you know, especially in our prison systems. Way to go, Joe Biden, you piece of shit. God, dude, you know how many good rap albums we could have right now? This is my conspiracy theorist. The CIA wants music and entertainment to seem like the mainstream, like Lil Uzi Vert and all these fucking guys, you know what I mean? They want them to be the mainstream because people like me look at them and be like, that's not talented. I could do that. Okay, and then the internet comes along and nobody wants to work and everybody wants to be famous because everybody's looking at the famous people and being like, that's not, I could do that. Okay, so I think the CIA and the government locked up all the good rappers so that good rap couldn't make it. They just tried to take out Lil Wayne. They tried to take out the GOAT. If it wasn't for the Donnie T, you know, Dragon Ball Donnie T, bang. Dragon Ball Donnie T didn't save my man's Lil Wayne. They'd all be in prison. Every last one of them. So that's my conspiracy theory. The CIA and the government are working together to keep good people out of music. And I don't know if you know this, white people, racist, get over it. Black people are better at music. They just are. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you need the world to look at our entertainment and be like, it's not that successful, let me make a TikTok account, I'm going to be famous. Or let me make an Instagram, I'm going to be famous. And then nobody fucking values the hard work, or they expect everything handed to them, all that type of shit. Okay? That doesn't happen if everybody's like, oh, like back in the day when people were looking at like Freddie Mercury. Nobody was looking at Freddie Mercury being like, dude, that dude's not talented. They was looking at him being like, yo, he gay as fuck. Yo, my man's got AIDS. But they never said he wasn't talented. I look at half the people in the industry right now and I'm like, that shit, I don't even know what the fuck, how are they famous? That's my conspiracy. But I digress. This is all because of a kangaroo in Canada. You know what I mean? I digress. So the kangaroo was definitely owned by somebody who knew something and got him smuggled into the country. And then didn't understand that kangaroos are well-versed in MMA and got loose. But, you know, I'm sure you would get in a lot of trouble if you imported an exotic animal without proper permits. I'm sure that'd be a lot of trouble in Canada. So the guy wasn't going to fess up, so you just got a wild Wrangler kangaroo on the loose. Gatorade, chat. It's delicious. Okay, so done with the kangaroos. Kangaroos stole Sam, and they're on the loose in Canada. Bang. Well, if we want to keep it on the thing of zoos and animals, let's just turn our attention to this cool little island over in Asia, known as Japan. Dude, Gatorade. Do you know the story of Gatorade? Do you know why it's called Gatorade? The story of Gatorade is that the Florida Gators, the University of Florida, their football team and their other teams are the Gators. And one of the coaches, or I don't remember if it was a coach or a student, thought that water, like, because this is what happens. If you drink a lot of water on the field while you're playing, you cramp up or your belly gets full and you get bloated and then you can't run good, okay? So you need the maximum hydration with this little belly bloat, okay? So there was a student or a coach or somebody who devised the first iteration of Gatorade to give people more electrolytes and stuff for performance. And because it was exclusively for the Florida Gators at the time, it was called Gatorade. Dun, da, da, da. Bolt 24. There's also a beer called Colt 24. And it's cheap like a Natty Light. So, we move our sights to Japan. What are some things we know about Japan? Well, there's the obvious. Samurais, nuclear explosions, and anime. Right? If you had to, you know, if you were going to describe Japan in 3 words, you know, probably be samurai, nukes, plural, and anime. That's what I would say would be the go-tos. Well, samurais got out of control. If we read history, we know that. I think 2 nukes was a little excessive, so I would say nukes are out of control as well. Now, for a while, I thought anime Like, I've never been into it, but I thought, cool, it's a cool little outlet, Gajira, fucking pirates, fucking, giant robots, But I think anime now we're a couple generations in, I think it may be an issue for this little island. Now, I would like to point to this article. Japan has seen an increase in female attendance because of a attractive gorilla. What? Now, we could go for the easy jokes and be like, did they lock up Shaquille O'Neal? What's going on? Did they put Idris Elba in a cage in Japan? Obviously we could make those easy, dumb, lame jokes, but we're not going to do that here. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to get to the bottom of this and figure out what the fuck's going on over there, because gorillas are not attractive. Now, I'm a white guy that loves black women, okay? I ain't never looked at a single gorilla, not one, and been like, maybe if I was drunk enough, maybe if I did some black tar heroin. No, not even close. Every gorilla looks like a gorilla. And you know what gorillas are? Not attractive. Okay? But if your mind is warped from a young age of watching fucking anime where every dude is built like a fucking upside down pyramid, and weirdly enough, gorillas are if they could stand up straight, right? And then, they're porn over there because they pixelize dicks and shit. They got a lot of, what's it called? Hentai. And I think these girls are growing up actually being attracted to animals. In Japan got a young gorilla, and what that means is its face not all wrinkly. It's got a smooth face, and it's buff, and you can see all of its muscles, and it's got good fur. And so I looked at the pictures of the gorilla, and I was expecting to see something different about it. Like, maybe it looked more human than other gorillas. No, it's just a young gorilla. And apparently, girls are attending the zoo because they're going to their little friends and being like, it's so hot. So there's an uptick in attendance at a specific zoo in Japan because the girls think it's hot. God damn, I want to be a black guy and move to Japan. Fuck, man. Dude, if I could be a big buff black guy, dude, and never wear a shirt in Japan, I'd literally have to beat these little fucking slanted-eyed little fucking dick fiends. I mean, they're going to the zoo to look at a gorilla because it's hot. Hot? No! Stop it! You stop the anime stuff right now. Now I have a new crusade against anime. You guys thought it was just the words not lining up. Well, now I have a new crusade. Did somebody say crusade? Yeah, dude. The world's fucked, dude. It's not just America. I mean, Dubai just made a giant sculpture of a Rubik's Cube in the middle of their town square. For what? For what, dude? You think American nerds that love Rubik's Cubes are going to be like, shh, I gotta go to Dubai and see the Rubik's Cube. The fuck are we doing, dude? Like, just a bunch of fucking heat-stroked out fucking Talibanis, dude, just coming up with ideas, And then, don't even get me started on the Middle East. Jesus Christ, bro. Just a bunch of people fighting over who wrote shit on a rock, Dumb. And then America, we're just over here fighting about taking Trump off the Colorado ballot. And then the answer, dude, this is how funny things are, dude. Dude, we can't let Trump vote because if he wins, he'll destroy democracy. I mean, we can't let you vote for Trump because if he wins, he'll destroy democracy. So we have to temporarily pause democracy and not let you vote for him. Because if you vote for him, he will destroy democracy. So we're going to temporarily destroy it so that we can have it back. Because that always works. If you could be a tiny Asian guy, you could possibly be a lapdog. Bro, I am not going to be a tiny Asian guy. Okay, on the list of things I wish I could be, right? Okay? Now, DJ Academics, this might be hard to hear, but on the list of things that I could be in my life, big strapping black man, number 1. Dude, figure it out, dude. Now, imagine. That's crazy. That's a whole thing. I don't want to get into that. Never mind. Okay, anyway. So if I could choose things I want to get into, dude, fuck that guy. I would say big African black guy, white guy, probably Latino woman, Mexican guy, Samoan guy, Samoan woman. I mean, Asian guy's gonna be right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. I think I'd be an Asian guy last, dude. I mean, unless we're talking about ninjas. You know, ninjas. Those covert emo Asians. Now, what's weird enough is I was going to get into this later, but I don't know how you pass up a transition like this. We're talking about it, ninjas, naturally. So, we can do one of my jokes. I brought 2 jokes to the table this week. So, my new goal is at least 2 jokes per week I'm going to work on, no matter how dumb they are, no matter how cheesy, no matter what it is. 2 jokes or 2 ideas per week I will bring to the table. Now, we were just talking about ninjas. I just happen to have one about ninjas. Like stand-up style jokes, Jer. Fuck, man. Aren't you just a third? The third joke? I mean, I guess. Anyway. Okay. So here we go. So when I was younger, I used to think that my pap just really hated like kung fu movies because anytime there was a covert emo Asian, he would just get really upset. Nah, fuck, I messed up the joke already. Oh, fuck. All right, time out. Scratch that, scratch it. You know, I tried to over-explain it and I ruined it. See, this is the first time I did the joke. Like the first time I thought of the joke, it was really long and thought out. And then I condensed it. And now I almost went back to the original one. So I'm going to recondense it. Don't you fucking flatline me, dude. Fuck you. Okay. So. When I was younger, I thought my pap just hated, like, covert emo Asians. You know, ninjas. But it turns out he's just really, really racist with a lisp. It's a scratch. Oh, I thought it was like in doctor shows where it's like beep 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 beep. Now understand that this would not be like the full premise of a joke. This would be a tag or something I would throw into a bigger story. But the joke, once again, is when I was younger, I used to think my pap just really hated covert emo Asians. You know, ninjas. But it turns out he's just really, really racist with a lisp. Nah, bro, I'm not that much of an asshole. You never know, dude. You never know, dude. Oh, wait, dude. Hold on. Time out. Is it up? No, it's not up. Hold on. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. What would it be called? Jared, was that good? Was that a good hold on. Fucking posture check. Posture check. Dude, I don't know what this one sounds like, but dude, fuck it, dude.
Daddy, chill.
Daddy, chill. Okay, one of these days I'm gonna figure out this soundboard. So suspenseful, I loved it. Hold on. The dun dun dun. Okay, hold on. Let me find it again.
Read, nigga, read.
Dude, what, dude? Dude, that one's crazy, dude. I have never even heard it, but just by the title, I know it's crazy, dude. I just know it's crazy. Okay. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Let's hear it again. Okay, hold on.
Read, nigga, read.
Huh? It's a meme, huh? Oh shit, dude. We might be. It's a soundboard. What do you want me to do about it, dude? What do you want me to do about it, dude? You know what I mean? You know? Dude. Dude, this is gonna be the craziest thing that's ever happened on the show, bro. Dude, this is gonna be the craziest thing that's ever happened on the show, dude. Dude. I was in school, right? And like, there we were in like 5th period English class. And like for 2 weeks straight, this kid wasn't paying attention. And then one day he asked me, he was like, yo, how am I gonna pass the test tomorrow? And I looked at him and I said,
Read, nigga, read.
you know what I mean? Oh, dude, if you clip that, I'm so fucked. Okay, enough soundboard, dude, before I get canceled, dude. Okay. Okay, so we talked about there being a kangaroo loose in Canada. We talked about Japan women wanting to fuck a gorilla. Not a big black guy, an actual gorilla. Dude, what transitions are going on here? What in the transition is happening? Caitlin, nice to meet you. Okay, so we were just talking about Japan and how I didn't mention that it's fucking creepy. I don't know what that means. The Jester? You don't like it? Alright. I'll get rid of it. Oh, I don't have the other one. No, it stays. I had another one set up, but I deleted it, so the Jester stays, because I don't want it to just be a blank square over there. Anyway, let's see. Where were we? We're just talking about... Jerry, I gotta do a recap for my own sanity, bro. I'm sorry. Okay, so, in Japan, at a zoo, there was a increase in female visitors because of an attractive gorilla. Okay? And I truly believe that's because anime and hentai has gotten really, really ingrained in society over there, and it's gotten real weird. Now, speaking of hentai, a close relation to hentai is furry porn. Now, an Irishman is facing prison time for dropping off furry porn to North Sentinel Island. Now, if you don't know what North Sentinel Island is North Sentinel Island is an island of uncontacted peoples, tribe peoples. Okay, they have no technology. They're even worse than the Amish. The Amish know about us and go, fuck that noise. We're chilling. We're churning our butter in peace over here. Give me my buggy and leave me alone. Okay? North Sentinel Island sees a fucking drone or something and thinks it's just a fucking bird they've never seen. You know what I mean? These people barely have a language, okay? And the entire world has agreed to let this island be left alone, almost as like an ant farm. Let's see how fast they progress. Bah! You know? So there's this North Sentinel Island that, like, basically it's illegal to contact them. Like, a pastor went to that island to try to teach them the blessings of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he was murdered. And they watched it happen. And they didn't care. Because you're not supposed to go there. They were like, hey man, don't go there. And he was like, no, I got to do it for Jesus. And they were like, yeah, well, Jesus isn't going to protect you there because they don't know about that. And their spears are not Jesus. They're like, their spears are Jesus proof. So, you know, my man's got stabbed up. And this Irish guy who's well off thought it would be hilarious is in, if like I said, they're treating these people like an ant farm to see their evolution. And he thought it'd be hilarious to get them attracted to animals. So this Irish guy with a drone, like not like a fucking military drone, but like, you know, a fucking drone, took furry porn and dropped it off on North Sentinel Island. To try to get these people attracted to animals to completely change evolution. Now that guy's my hero. That's what I would do if I was rich. Now I wouldn't get caught because I'm not retarded like this guy. But if I had a lot of money, if I was well off, I would do cool stuff like that, man. I get so bored and the only thing stopping me from doing cool stuff is money. Bro, the things I would do, bro. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn it on. I wanted to wait until later. Hold on, got it. Channel points. Rewards. What? There we go. All good. I kind of want to do some scrims. Dude, we're playing Fortnite after this no matter what anyway, dude. I've been wanting to play for a few days, but like, it's a whole thing, dude. My whole life's weird right now, dude. It's a whole thing. I don't want to talk about it on the podcast because I'll just get amped up. I'm trying to stay in a good mood. But my life is trying to make it where I'm in a constant bad mood. Bad mood Josh coming at ya. Bad mood Josh coming to bring fairy porn to North Sentinel Island. Okay, so... Dude, but can we agree that man's a legend, dude? Like, we're literally treating this island like it is a animal farm. Like a case study. Like, we don't know exactly how we evolved as humans, so let's just watch these people on this island. And, like, this is how serious people take it. They make sure they reroute boats around the island 13 miles off the coast. So now I don't know if you guys know this because most of you are fucking dumb, okay? Eyes can only see 13 miles. Bang. Pow! Okay? Now, what that means is, okay, that does not mean, now what you might think is, I've seen things more than 13 miles away. Yeah. That's because all right, can we agree that if I draw something at the front of a picture, and then I draw something smaller behind it in a drawing, the one in the front looks bigger, and the one back looks smaller, okay? But in reality, those two buildings could be the same size, okay? Now, what that means is North Sentinel Island. What that means is let's say there's a building, okay? And if you had unlimited eyesight, no, okay, this is a bad example. Okay, let's say there's a ratio of distance to where you can see something, okay? You can see 13 miles. Say something is 26 miles away, but it's huge. You can see it. But you can see it because at 13 miles, there's still a big enough silhouette of it for you to see. Does that make sense? That's why you can't see details or anything. You're seeing silhouettes. You see what I'm saying now? You see what I'm saying? We can only see 13 miles. So they reroute boat ships to be at least 13 plus miles off the coast, so these people on the island will never get a good look at the boat and know what it is. That's where shadows come into play? For sure. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you can only see 13 miles. Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not a science fucking super nerd that can describe it, but I understand it in my head. See, that's a problem that I have sometimes when it comes to like history or science. I'll understand it, but I won't know how to explain it to people in a short amount of time to keep their attention. Okay. Now, what would I do if I was put in charge of, I'm the now director of North Sentinel Island, right? I'm the guy. Everything gets passed through me that happens with that island. What would I do? This is a good question. I would probably indubitably cause a conflict. Now, because this is what I need to understand. The timeline argument we have with my friends that I have do things happen like this? Or do things happen like this? Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ah, ooh, 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 ah, on the way up, right? Are there times of like flatness and then all of a sudden there's a spike and then there's a flatness of advancement and then a spike and then a flatness of, or is it just a slow and steady on the spectrum of time like this? What is it? So now what causes human evolution? Now, people want to believe in aliens, and one of the main reasons is because it's hard to imagine that there can be such significant jumps in technological advancement in such a short amount of time, yet for most of human history there was almost zero advancement. I'll give you an example. From the year 1000 to the year 1700, yes, so 700 years, nothing changed. Okay? In the year 1000, gunpowder existed, all that stuff existed. Okay? So nothing changed. People got better with them. They made better guns. They made better castles, or they stopped making castles altogether, so on and so forth. But for 700 years, nothing changed. Okay? Now, I'll give you another timeline. From the time we invented the car, okay? Well, I won't even say invented the car. Invented the assembly line for cars, okay? Which is only about 10 to 15 years afterward. So we can start at the beginning of cars. From the beginning of cars to landing on the moon, okay? So we went from 99.9% of the world still using horse and buggy, using muskets and 6-shooters and Winston and rifles, right? We went from horse and buggy, all of that, to landing on the moon. Are you ready for this? In 100 years. What? And I'll give you another crazy one. That's just combustion engine to landing on the moon, 100 years. We didn't learn flight until 1908. That's when the Wright brothers patented the airplane, okay? And the airplane didn't even have a combustion engine on it, okay? So 1908 to 1962 when we landed on the moon. We're talking about less than 60 years it took us to figure out flight and land on the fucking moon. So for 700 years we didn't learn shit. And then all of a sudden we learned how to land on the moon. Now, here's the weird thing. People will be like, it had to be aliens. Something like that had to happen because there's no way you could have that jump. But also, what do we know about that time frame? The two biggest world wars in the history of humans. The two biggest wars ever. On a scale of anything ever, two biggest wars, period. Those two things happened. And what do we know about conflict? It creates innovation. So the two biggest conflicts of all time happened, and we got the biggest influx of innovation. That's why if I was in charge of Sentinel Island, I would give them an enemy. I would give them an enemy for conflict. To see if a conflict... Because right now they're just picking berries, living through the woods, fighting hyenas or whatever. They're chilling. They ain't got nothing to worry about. And the rest of the world is protecting them. You know what they're dealing with that no other civilization has ever had to deal with? They're protected by forces they don't know about. What? Nobody's going to invade that island and attack them. So they don't need to advance. So, by definition, catering to them is stifling the experiment itself. So, if I was in charge, I would 100% start I would coordinate a fake siege. With people with the exact same tools as them and stuff like that. And then just back off. That way they knew they needed to... they had the idea of people coming across the water and fucking them up. They would probably think they are beasts. I think we do too. I would make a drone in the shape of a bird and go spy on the island. And they would force wars or enemy. Well, that's the big thing. That's the famous photo. Is there was a guy who did that. He dressed a drone up like a bird, and he flew it over the island. And then when it got back to his boat, 14 miles offshore, it had 20 arrows in the bottom of it. Look that picture up. I didn't even expect to go on this whole thing, but tell me I'm wrong, dude. Tell me I'm wrong about the whole idea. If you're treating them like a sample of human growth, and then the whole idea of human expansion, from the year 1000 to the year 1700, basically nothing happened. Stonemasonry got better. People made a little bit more sophisticated guns. Horse riding got better. But everybody was still building out of the same materials, using the same things, fighting wars the same way. People were fighting wars in 1000 the same way they were in 1700. Watch them advance by having them fight? Exactly, dude. I truly believe that's the only way we would get a meaningful sample size of advancement out of them. Because realistically, right now, they're just chilling on this island. Nobody ever attacks them from offshore. They probably don't even know there's other land out there. And every once in a while, they'll see a shadow on the horizon, and every once in a while, some rich fuck would fly a drone over and they think there's a weird bird. Like, they don't have to advance. They're getting suntans, fucking eating berries and shit. Like, people in America pay for tropical vacations to do what these people do. They don't need to advance. They're vibing. But that also, fuck, dude, that's also profoundly weird, because think about that. They're vibing. They have food. They have shelter. And they're not being attacked on a regular basis, or ever, to be honest. So they don't have to worry about conflict. So they're literally just vibing. So realistically, that might literally be what humans need. We literally could be way more animalistic than we think, and our brains just concoct this idea of us being special. And we literally could just be fucking jungle-dwelling fucking half monkeys. You know what I mean? Just, do we have food? Can we get out of the rain? Are we not going to die tomorrow? We're happy. And then here we are in America, fucking trans people are reading the kids, the border's unsecure, you know, the Republicans, they're gonna fucking kill democracy, goddammit, Donald Trump, he's a bigot, he hates trans people. Like, why are we so ramped up about all this stuff? These dudes are over there just fucking walking around an island. That drone was fucking massive, though. Yeah, I know. But think about it, dude. Think about the fact that they saw it. They weren't scared of it. You can watch. Did you watch the video? Was not dressed like a bird? Okay, fair enough. But either way, it's one of the drones that looks like a plane, which looks like a bird. It's not one of the ones that's just like a box with 4 helicopter wings. You know, it's an actual drone. Think of small scale. What small scale? Like government pigeons? Well, we have drones dedicated to watch them. Like, they're under, like, we have satellites, I mean, not drones. We have satellites dedicated to watch that island. Like, they're being studied. It's a weird thing. Like, it's weird. I'm getting less conspiratorial the more people get conspiratorial, because people are dumb. And the more conspiratorial people get, the more dumb everything they say sounds, which just makes me less interested in conspiracies. And, quite frankly, there is a weird thing going on where the world is constantly always fighting, yet somehow we all agree to leave Sentinel Island alone. We all agree to leave Antarctica alone. We all agree to leave the Mariana Trench alone. We all agree to not start building a bunch of bases in the Pacific Ocean with nothing around. We all agree that the International Space Station needs to be between all of us. Like, we agree on so many things when it comes to the greater good of the world, but yet we fight over all geopolitics and stuff, which makes me believe more than ever that there are a group of high-level people on this planet that are in control of more than they believe. I mean, more than we believe. And that they do have grand ideas for humanity. But they have to put on a show to fight about this. For us to fight about the low-level stuff, so they can perform their big movements without being affected, right? I don't agree with a lot of that. A lot of what? What don't you agree with? Oh, no. Okay. That's what you don't agree with. Okay. I thought you were not agreeing with what I was saying. No, I also don't understand why we can't explore Antarctica, right? So, people, about 12% of people that climb Mount Everest die. Okay? About 96% of people that climb this one mountain die. Because it's not as tall as Mount Everest, but it's sheer. It's a sheer cliff face. Okay? And 90% of people that climb that die. But the government, no world government comes together and says, stop doing that, it's too dangerous. You're not allowed to climb Mount Everest anymore, it's too dangerous. You're not allowed to climb that mountain, it's too dangerous. But yet, you're not allowed to explore Antarctica because it's too dangerous. Huh, okay. You're not allowed to explore the Mariana Trench because mathematically, science doesn't support a vessel that can go down there. Now, the scientist in me, the science lover in me, not the scientist, the science lover in me, when I hear the arguments of why this is the case, it makes more sense than the Antarctica one. So, it is actually easier for us to make something that can withstand outer space than it is for us to make something that can withstand going to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. So, if you were just like, we saw what happened when those people wanted to go see the Titanic. They died. Okay? If you just let people think they can build their own submarines and go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, we're going to have a Titanic situation on our hands every other month. Now, I'm not saying that we should stop them from doing that, right? I'm saying that there should be a group of people that if they follow the thing and they do this and they do that, they should be allowed. But the fact that it's just a blanket, no, you're not allowed, is pissing me off. Basis, I think we should explore our world. Yeah. So, but this would be my new evidence. If I was going to make a case, if I was going to be the guy to make a case, right? Okay, maybe you're right, dude. Maybe I should get rid of the fucking clown, dude. Hold on. All right, is that better? Still got the bouncing girl? I think I do somewhere. But I like this one. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more fright. When they hate me, I know it's 'cause I'm white. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Alright, so I need to have you ever watched the episode of Dexter when he wants to learn something overnight because he forgot to study? So he creates a machine that puts under his pillow and it's going to teach him how to speak French. And then he sleeps on it, but then it starts skipping. And then the only thing he can say the next day is omelette du fromage, which means omelet with cheese, which is double funny joke, okay? It's a double funny joke. Let me explain this because I feel like some of you don't get Dexter's Laboratory's genius level of comedy, okay? It's a two-part joke. It's two parts because the joke throughout the show is he can only say omelette du fromage and people think it's sexy because he's French. That's the first part of the joke. That's the joke that everybody fucking gets, okay? The second part of the joke that's even funnier than that, okay? That most of you don't even get, okay? Is the fact that he was listening to a book that teaches you how to speak French. And the first part of the book is to teach you to say omelet with cheese. The first line of the book is to teach you omelet with cheese is omelette du fromage. As if when you went to France, the most important thing in all of France is to know how to say omelet with fucking cheese. That's the second part of the joke. God damn it. God damn it. Do you know how many times I've talked about omelette du fromage? And nobody fucking gets the second part of the joke? The fact that the most important thing in France is omelet with cheese? Not croissant? Not oui oui? Nothing that we know about France? Literally omelet with cheese? God damn it, they're goated, bro. Dexter's the best, dude. Okay. Not Eiffel Tower? No Eiffel Tower, no baguette, no croissant, no chocolat. You know what I mean? Not Eiffel Tower? Bro, I'm American, bro. The only Eiffel Tower I know is when me and my buddy is smashing a hoe, and she's in between us, one dick in the mouth, one dick in the... Yeah, I mean, pick a hole, and then you and your boy, fucking double high five! Eiffel Tower. It's the only Eiffel Tower I know, dude. Okay, let's see. Jared, I actually have a question before I move on. Do we like the studio without the string lights? Do we like the studio without the string lights? Yes or no? I don't know. I don't even know if you noticed, but for the first time in over 112 episodes, I don't have the string lights on. I like the vibe of it without the lights, kinda. You didn't even notice? Here's what it does. Now, once I point it out, tell me if you notice. Does it or does it not let you see the stuff up front a little bit better because it's not glaring the lens? Can't you see this a little bit better? Like when I flip this over, you can see the sand. Well, I gotta get it off the white. Why is there so much white everywhere? See, now you can see it falling and shit. And then, like, Donald Trump looks better. This looks better. Like, it's because the light was glaring off the lens. And I feel like it was just, like, making it a little bit more out of focus, is what I would say. Out of focus. Okay. Well, now we can move on. Ooh, I just left a fucking ripping heater, dude. The only thing that looks better is the board. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm actually going to do something different with the board. I either might take it down altogether, because, like, I bought it that one time so I could talk about space. And then I drew a bunch of stuff. But I haven't done anything with it since. So I'm actually thinking about taking it down, moving this sign down, putting Donald Trump up there. But then what would I do with this? This could go on the wall over here. I want to rearrange stuff. I've had the same look in the studio for a long time. Give me some ideas. Think about it. I'm going to move on. The lights make the H look worse. Yeah, definitely. See, that's why I want to move this down here, because when it's up there, for some reason, whether it's that light or that light, one of those two lights glows off the corner and messes it up. So if I move it down, it doesn't have a glare at all, and it looks better. But also, I like the whiteboard. But I have to start putting something on it, but I'm also not artistic. I'm retarded. Is the whiteboard worse or better than a chalkboard? Ooh, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. Now, in day-to-day life, if I had to choose, I would say that the whiteboard dry erase board is better. But if you're asking me for a camera, now that I'm thinking of it, because the white, I don't know if you guys know this, but when it comes to cameras, white doesn't do good for the camera. The more white there is in a picture, the less the camera, like, does good. So if this was actually a blackboard and I was using white chalk, it would show up better and I wouldn't need to make... So when it's white and I make this is this thick, okay? Like this is... I have a big hand, chat. Look how big my fucking hand is, okay? Compared to this microphone up close. Okay, my hand's fucking huge, okay? Look how big it is compared to these. That's how big I have to make things on this whiteboard for it to show up on the camera. If it was a chalkboard, I feel like it would show up better because it was a black surface with white lines on it. So for camera purposes, the blackboard would be better, but I like whiteboards better because, dude, I went to school and they had chalkboards, and like, it's not just a movie thing, bro. The screech of a chalkboard, I just had a tingle down my spine. Stop. No more chalkboard stuff. Because I just had a tingle down my spine thinking about the time. Oh shit, dude, I had tubes in my ears, bro. It sounded like a fucking banshee screaming in my ear. I thought I was gonna pass out, dude. Tingle me? And it would reduce glare as well? Yeah, it would. Well, shit, how hard would it be, actually? Hold on. Take this down. Okay. Hey. Oh, now Donald Trump looks like shit. Okay, oh well. We'll figure it out another time. No, it gives his hair a glow? Okay, cool. And then, dude, realistically... Oh, God. See, you don't fucking see it, bro. Even when it's closer. Trash. Fucking trash, dude. Whiteboards are the worst. Blackboards are better, dude. You heard it here first, dude. Hurricane of Thoughts, dude. We're pro blackboard. Dark colors we can see. It's all good. Give her this so you can see Gengar. Nice. Cool. We're vibing now, dude. Dude, fucking America. I don't want people to forget this is America. God damn, dude. Okay, now that we've been distracted for at least 3 minutes about nothing. Dude, that sign does look good right there. I like it. We can move on. Jared, give me a, You got Gengar and Dragonite as co-hosts? 100%, dude. 100%. Give me like a 25-minute heads up to the end of the stream so we can do the in review. Okay. I'll leave it up to you, Jeremiah. Because you're here. You're the only one here. Should I save racism is natural till we have a large audience? Because I've actually worked hard on making this a double nuanced conversation. I've now worked through it so much that I can fight the one way. And then once I get to the end of that, I flip it and start arguing the exact opposite way. So it's very nuanced and it's very goated, and I really think it would be very interesting for people. But I've also been waiting for about 3 weeks for there to be a good bit of people here. Just wait until there's more people? Okay. I will wait. Because I do have plenty of other stuff to talk about. Talk about it later? Fair enough, dude. Okay, this will be my last one on my own. And then I won't do another one unless I get a shot time. Jeremiah, don't worry. This thing is still half full, and I measured it out. There's no more of me getting too fucked up on streams. No more. You got something for me to talk about? Well, fucking hit me with it, cuz. Hit me with what you want me to talk about. Come on, man! I ain't got all day, man. I can't just sit here in silence, man. I gotta give you something to talk about, man. I recently learned that in Florida, there is a woman who shoots a bow with her feet. Question. Is she Asian? Is this woman Asian? Because if the answer is yes, then I know about her. If the answer is no, she ain't alone, dog. There's this fucking Asian woman who be doing it on fucking America's Got Talent and podcasts and stuff. Like, she be going on podcasts and stuff. Like, you know, popular ones. And, she be shooting her bow with her fucking feet, dog. Scottish. A redhead Scottish one. Oh, shit, bruv. That's fire, dude. It actually is pretty cool what they do. But, dude, that's what I'm saying, dude, is, like, it's so weird thinking about humans because, like, here in America, we sometimes get this, like, binary outlook about life because of, like, what our everyday is, what we see on an everyday basis, things like that. And, like, what humans have done for so long, that there are things that humans can do that are so out of the ordinary that I truly believe that all humans could potentially do if we tried. Such as being ambidextrous with our feet. There are countless people that lose their arms or mobility of their arms or lose their hands or something that become extremely good at doing things with their feet. You know what else is good at doing things with their feet? Monkeys! Would I endorse a foot bow and arrow competition as a company? No. Let me explain. I would not endorse a foot bow and arrow competition company simply for the fact it is a niche in the amount of people that will watch and in the amount of people that will participate. But what I would participate and endorse and invest in is a company that does a lot of different exhibition sports like that. So, for instance, if you had something where it was a company that had foot bow and arrow shooting competitions, but also had cross-country wheelchair races. You know what I mean? Like all-terrain wheelchairs. And then people have to go through like a high school cross-country track, but there's sticks and bugs and stuff, and they got to figure it out, you know what I mean? And then and they do that, and then I would do Like if they did if a bunch of people without legs did hand soccer, like imagine a company that specialized in disability style sports, right? But it's not the Special Olympics, right? So this is for the spectacle of it, right? So you have people without legs that are on those scooters that we had in high school, and they could use their arms to move themselves away, but also it was soccer, so you could use your head or, in this case, your feet, which are your hands, and you could slap it. Now you can't pick it up, one hand on the ball at a time, so you could smack it, you could punch it, you could elbow it, but you can't grab it, right? But the whole time you're on a fucking one of those gym class scooters, baby. It's not the Special Olympics. The Special Olympics is different people with different things doing different stuff, right? It's dumb. And that's dumb. And people support the Special Olympics, and that's fine. But I'm saying that you don't have to be... I wouldn't market it like that, dude. It's not the Special Olympics, dude. The fuck are you talking about? Okay. I was about to get real angry, dude, because that's not the Special Olympics. This is more like advanced gym class for paraplegics and disableds. Okay? Which is kind of like the Special Olympics, I guess. But this would be more like a league that also did things like, all right, there's different teams. So like the Special Olympics is all about like this disabled person versus 5 other disabled people in a race. This is team Special Olympics, right? This is this is disabled people working as a team, but also it could be this, right? Imagine this. It doesn't even have to be just physical, right? Imagine a dyslexic spelling bee. What's up, dude? What's up, a dyslexic spelling bee? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Armless people playing dodge kickball? I'm in with that too, dude. But dyslexic people in a spelling bee. Or, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Socially awkward people having to do stage performances. Or, how about this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Voting competitions where regular people get to put up their vote, right? Okay, so like I'm a regular person, okay? And I see this disabled guy, right? Okay? And I say he's disabled, I'm regular. I can do, let's just pick an event. I can make 10 more 3-pointers out of 50 than he can. People get to vote and bet on that. Okay? So, what will happen is you go up, you do your 50 shots for your 3-pointers. And then a special needs person comes up and does it. And they have to only get 10 less than you to beat your bet. Like, we're mixing sports gambling with Special Olympics with Asian people in NASCAR. Dude, we already have that sport. It's called Demolition Derby. Figure it out, my boy. Demolition Derby is literally the Asian pastime if they had cars over there that could withstand hits, bro. But all their cars over there fold like accordions because they use cheap materials. It's what it is, man. Don't get me fucking started around here, dude. Don't get me fucking started, dude. Neil, how are you, my boy? Last podcast of 2023. How you be? You guys are my 2 favorite people, dude. Now, I was promised nudity. You were not promised nudity. I actually forgot to talk about this. Chat, what do we think artistic nudity is for men? So, for women, apparently, artistic nudity is if you are doing cosplay, or if you are doing a costume, Or if you are doing a dance and something slips out, but you immediately recover and fix it, okay? All of that falls under the umbrella of artistic nudity for women. There's not a section that explains what artistic nudity for men is. Now, if a woman decides that she wants to turn her body into a Jason Pollock painting, right? And she's naked, and she's really good at art, and she covers herself in paint where it looks like a painting, and she goes on stream and she just chats with her chat for 3 hours promoting her OnlyFans while she's naked covered in paint, Twitch says that's okay. If I showed up next week and I was dipped in full gray, except for my face, to avoid any racial issues, and then I just had my dick out and I said I was an elephant and that was my trunk, is that artistic nudity? Hey, have to do something real quick. Clickbait. It was not clickbait, bro. All I said was Twitch is now allowing artistic... Wait, what's happening to me? What's happening to me? Oh my god, there's an unhappy chatter! There's an unhappy chatter, I can't allow it. Oh god. No, I can't show my nipples. Stop it, it's not artistic. Oh god, oh god. Is it artistic if I pretend my nipples are DJ turntables? Oh god. Wiki, 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 wiki. Oh heavens, what's happening? Oh heavens, what's happening? Wiki, 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 wiki. Now, chat, you may be wondering, we saw a lot of skin there and we didn't see nipples. Well, it's because I'm not supposed to be fat. I'm supposed to be a small athlete. And I have small little Hershey Kiss nipples. And I didn't expose them. Oh! But I did, you just didn't see them. They're literally that small. I'm basically nippleless. A rabid beaver bit off my nipple in the 12th grade. That's art? I don't want to disappoint, dude. I don't want to disappoint the chat. Never, dude. Dude, nothing will get me to do things like peer pressure. If me and my homies are sitting around, right? And they go, yo, do this. I'd be like, nah, fuck y'all, dog. But if there's a bunch of random people that I need them to know I'm a funny ass dude, dude, there's almost unlimited things I might do. Okay. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, Neil. I have a little joke. Okay, so now every week from now on, and you guys are supposed to hold me to this, I will have 2 stand-up style jokes, okay? For the podcast. No matter how finished, how dumb, how raw they are, you guys can make fun of me if you want. I don't really care. It is what it is. But I will come with 2 stand-up style jokes every week and get you guys' opinion. Okay? Now, understand that when I say it on a podcast, and it's not in a room with a bunch of people doing stand-up, and I'm not on stage, and it's not in the middle of me telling a bunch of other stories, it might not be as good. So a lot of these are just going to be middle punchlines or end punchlines that don't have the story or the setup around it. Clarifier. Okay. Here we go. This is the second one. Neil, I'll give you the first one because you weren't here. The first one. So when I was younger, I always thought my pap just really hated, like, ninja movies. Like, he really had a problem with covert emo Asians. But then I realized later on in life that he was just really, really racist with a lisp. Now, if you don't get that joke, the whole joke is that he hates ninjas. Ninjas are covert emo Asians. Now, why are they covert emo Asians? Covert because they're sneaky, they never get caught. Emo because they're always wearing all black. Asians because ninjas are never not Asian. Okay? They're called ninjas. I always thought my pap had a problem with ninjas. He hated covert Asians. But it turns out he just had a lisp. Lisp is a key word here, because if you have a lisp and you say ninja, it sounds like another N word, and that makes him racist. That's the joke. Okay. Here's the new one. The unveiling of the second joke of this week, chat. Number 2. If Cookie Monster were to move to an Asian country, what country would Cookie Monster move to? If cookie taxes in America, because obesity is out of control, and Michelle Obama, pardon me, was on our ass to cut down the amount of cookies consumed in this country, if cookie tax got so crazy that Cookie Monster had to go to an Asian country, what country would he move to? The answer is Vietnam. Nom, 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 nom. Vietnam. Nom, 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 nom. Damn porch ninjas. It's great. The problem I'm having with the first joke is the second joke is very self-explanatory. I over-explained it because you guys were typing in chat, and I just wanted to do. But the joke, if in its simplest form, goes like this. If for some reason Cookie Monster had to move to an Asian country, what Asian country would he choose? The answer's obvious. Vietnam, nom, nom. Okay? Exactly. It's so simple and dumb. This is what I'm coming to realize. I'm different. I like complex comedy that you don't figure out the layers of it till later, right? So there's multiple layers to the first joke, but it's harder to understand, so people like it less. So at work, when I came up with these 2 jokes, I came up with them both in the same day. I went and told multiple people at work. And the general consensus is that the first joke is better in the sense of wordplay, story, and just overall cleverness. But the second joke just makes people happier. And that's what I'm starting to realize about myself, is I'm too complex for my own good. I come up with dumb jokes like Vietnam yum yum all the time, and I let them go because I think they're too dumb to be good. I'm like, somebody else has probably thought of that. It came to me way too easy. It's a dumb throwaway joke. But everybody I said it to at work liked that one more, and that's why we're doing this segment from now on. Is because no matter what, I need to start bringing jokes to the table to get people's opinion. Because I'm coming to realize that if you're a musician, you critique music on a different level. So then you listen to music, and then only the greatest of the greats impress you. Okay? That's where I'm at with comedy. Only complex stuff that I don't think is regular impresses me to myself. So I'll dismiss dumb little jokes. You know how many jokes like Vietnam nom nom I've had this year? At least 150 of them. You know how many of them I'm said? 12, maybe. Because I just keep letting them go because I'm like, it's too dumb. It's too much of a dad joke. It's too silly. Well, I'm fucking in now, dude. Dad joke Josh is here, dude. It's on, dude. It was just a bit too crass. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough, I guess. I guess that is a weird comparison. Just a silly little dad joke compared to a nuanced racial joke. I guess that's a fair statement. See, Neil, that's why I fucking love you, dude. Bringing the nuance to the convo, dude. Now, obviously, neither of those jokes I would base an entire act around. Neither of those are like breadwinning jokes, but those are just 2 little silly like stand-up style jokes that I came up with this week. So, now that that's over, we can move on. Wait, no more. Until somebody hits the button. That's what I said. Okay. We could talk about ooh, okay. Move on to what? Oh, I'm gonna move on to a story? And then I've got two things left to talk about that I really wanted to talk about. And then we can move on to the year in review summary according to my notebook. Okay. So while we're on it, so I have a friend at work who recently went to a version of Comic-Con. And he wore a Pope outfit. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's not comic related. But he was still very popular at Comic-Con, and people took a lot of pictures with him. And as he was showing me the pictures, I had an idea. I was like, dude, next year, you should cut your Pope outfit in half, and half of it be the Pope, and then sew a Santa Claus outfit onto the other half. So you're half the Pope and half Santa Claus. And he said, well, what's the correlation with the Pope and Santa Claus? And I was like, well, I mean, they both like little boys to sit on their lap. You know what I mean? We had a good chuckle about that. But I wasn't done there. Oh, no, sirree, I was not. So then I went on to say, well, you see, when you come across people at Comic-Con, you could say, which lap do you want to sit on? Do you want to sit on, tell Santa what would make you happy for Christmas? Or you could sit on the other leg, tell me what you did that makes Jesus real mad. Who's a bad little Bible boy? Oh, yes, sit on the Pope's lap. Ooh, taste my little Pope pole. Ooh, you're me and Jesus a good pal? Like, what could happen if you just went somewhere in half Pope, half Santa attire, bro? Now, that's more of a sketch. See, this is what I'm coming to realize. I'm coming to realize I have a lot of sketch ideas. Comedy ideas that only would come through with visual aids. So, I talked to Sam about it. He was not interested at all. So I'm thinking about starting my own thing where I do sketches. Because I have ideas that I try to make stand-up bits that can never be stand-up bits because they take too much explaining to be funny. So I have ideas in my head, and in order to convey those ideas to you, it would take too long. But if I could put them in the video where I don't have to explain them, you're seeing them, the jokes would work perfectly. So, I'm coming to the conclusion that I'm going to start doing sketch videos. Oh. Right now my plan is one every 2 months. Because, A, they're going to take a budget. 2, I have to film and edit them. And 3, I got to find people to participate in them. So, I'm going to have to consolidate my ideas into very economical in short time periods filmings and then edit them well. So my goal right now is one every 2 months. There are quite a few people that started sketch comedy on YouTube. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm starting to realize. I'm not gonna lie, dude. If we're complete honest time, ever since I found out I wasn't moving to Texas and things in my life where I am, I was in like a 3-month complete funk where I was just mad and angry every day. It was hard to think of funny stuff. It was hard to come up with ideas. It was hard to even want to keep doing any of this because I just felt so defeated. But I'm back now, and I'm more motivated I wouldn't say I'm more motivated. I'm back to being really motivated, and I'm back to evaluating myself. For that 3 months, I was so angry and mad, I couldn't stand to evaluate myself because it just made me hate myself more than I already did. Okay? But now that I'm back and I'm over all that bullshit, I'm evaluating myself, and I'm realizing that I need to distinguish stand-up, podcast, sketch bits. In baseball, if you are good at hitting, throwing, catching, playing outfield, all that stuff, you're known as a 5-tool player. Okay? In comedy, I think I'm a 4 or 5-tool player. Okay? I'm not going to admit to the one tool I may or may not have. We're going to find out in the future. But I'm at least a 4-tool player, but I've only been playing one position. And I've come to the realization I need to start getting out and playing more positions. So that's what I will do. So if Neil, if I have a sketch and I need somebody, if you're interested, I'm more than willing to come to you to film it. But I actually already have a few sketch ideas, which are going to be dope. Okay. So, now that we did that, boom, boom, boom. Okay, last thing, and then we're moving on. I can partake in some for sure. Fuck yeah. It's 1 minute past. Okay, I'm going to start it in like 5... after this story. I'm going to start it after this story. I got one last story. No. It says limited. Limited, which means as if like in the first 20 minutes you hit me with 4 or 5, I'm not doing all of those. You know what I mean? But you haven't used a single one, so if you used one, I would honor it. That's my whole thing. Is like, this is the thing. Not to call him out, because I know if he sees this, which he won't, he'll be upset. But Sam has been going to sleep. He's been being weird. He's been leaving the podcast, doing all kinds of stuff, even when he's here. And that bugs the shit out of me. And something that also bugs the shit out of me is when I'm too drunk to carry the show. Okay? So I don't want to get too drunk too fast, and I don't want to start slurring my words before the end of the show. So my whole point of making that thing was so that you didn't hit me with 5 of them in the first 15 minutes, and then 45 minutes in, I'm struggling to make connections in my head for a good show. Alright, fair enough, dude. Fair enough, dude. I won't explain shit to you no more, bruv. Okay. Okay, last story, and then we're going to move on to the 2023 summary. Okay, don't explain, just go. Uber Eats and Fox News have come together to make a report. Now, this report had a bunch of different things in it, but the only part that I cared about was the part of Uber Eats has the ability to go through and use statistical metrics to find out what are the most odd combinations that are frequently ordered. That's important, chat. Frequently ordered. Okay? Now this means that in a sample size of all of Uber Eats, these things get ordered enough for it to be weird. Now I'm going to read them. Now, while I'm reading these combinations to you guys, have these 2 thoughts in your head. Which one of these is the grossest? And which one of these is just one weird guy ordering it every single day? Okay? So which one of these is the grossest? And which one isn't multiple people ordering it, but one super loser who never cooks and orders it every single day where it pops up on the radar of Uber Eats? Here are the items. Uber Eats says that these are the items that are weirdly, frequently ordered together. Steak and jelly. Both strawberry and grape. There's no distinction. They made that perfectly clear in the article. That people order steak and request jelly on the side, But there's no distinction. It's never 90% of the time grape jelly or 90% of the time strawberry jelly. It's just jelly. Bang! Cottage cheese and mustard. Yellow mustard, chat. Not honey mustard, not Dijon mustard, not spicy mustard. Regular yellow mustard and cottage cheese. Condensed milk and avocado. I'm not gonna lie, Chad, I've worked at a lot of food places. I didn't even know places had condensed milk. So the fact that Uber Eats has a epidemic of people ordering condensed milk and avocado lets me know that California is indeed lost forever. Seaweed and pasta sauce. Seaweed and pasta sauce. Butter and pickled onions. Those are the 5 things Uber Eats say are ordered a large amount of times that are weird. So which of these do we think is the grossest? And which one do we think is just one freak ordering it and that's why it popped up? Grossest, huh? Jelly for rolls. They also order rolls. Most of these sound like either health nuts or odd people. Old people. Cottage cheese and mustard is the worst for sure, no doubt in my mind. But definitely the one person ordering. You always get rolls with steak. See, Jer? This is what I'm talking about. The same thing with the jokes is happening right now. My brain immediately goes convoluted complex. Okay? So in my mind, when I saw steak and jelly, I was thinking, right, that, oh, this dude's ordering steak. And then he's going to use the leftover steak to make breakfast in the morning. He's going to make an omelet, or he's going to make like steak and eggs. And he's going to have toast, and he's going to want jelly with it. So that's why they ordered a jelly. What you said makes so much more sense. That they just got jelly for their rolls with their steak. That, like, my brain can't even fathom something that simple. My brain's just like, nah, dude, it's got to be way crazier than that, dude. I think that people order steak from steakhouses, don't eat it when it gets there. They throw it in their fridge, wake up the next morning, 45 minutes before they need to leave for work. They fire up their saute pan, they heat up the steak, they make some eggs, they have some toast, they make some jelly, and then they're fucking on their way for the day. I may be the most genius retard that's ever existed. It is a great idea for breakfast, though, because that's what I would do. Like, this is how my brain works. My brain goes, if I had steak and jelly, what would I do with it? Make breakfast. And that's how my brain works. Your brain worked like people order steak. People get rolls with steak. They want their jelly with the rolls. My brain was, they're eating the jelly and the steak together. How does that happen? Breakfast. The cottage cheese mustard is gross. Well, if we're using Jer's logic, see, Jer ruined the whole point of this whole thing, dude. Because if we're using Jer's logic, people order cottage cheese as their side dish with their sandwich, and then they want mustard for their sandwich. Fuck, dude, this whole segment's ruined. Let's get out of here. Move on, dude. Fuck, dude, the whole segment's ruined, dude. People order seaweed, right? Okay? And they probably order seaweed in their pasta. And then they get extra pasta sauce to cover up the seaweed taste because they're trying to be healthy. God damn it, Jerry, you're good, man. Fucking good, dude. I just gave you the logic for cottage cheese. They got cottage cheese as the side for their sandwich. And then their sandwich, they wanted mustard. Because, I don't know if you know this, but most places don't put mustard on their sandwiches. Mustard is what's considered a controversial condiment. Now, the uncontroversial condiments, ketchup, ranch, hot sauce, barbecue sauce. Controversial condiments: mustard, honey mustard, sweet and sour, mayonnaise, and so on and so forth. No one gets a sandwich with cottage cheese. I mean, that's a statement that I don't think I could prove you wrong or you could prove that's correct. But I'm almost certain, because of the amount of times that I've went to like picnics or something and people have sandwiches and cottage cheese as a dish, I 100% think there's people that get cottage cheese as their sandwich dish at a deli or something. See, we live in Pennsylvania and you live in Florida. We forget that there are 2 cities in this country that hold 1/3 of the population. That's right. New York and California hold 1/3 of the entire country's population. And in New York and California, there are things called bodegas and corner stores, which are basically just exuberated delis that sell so many different things that it's basically had to have a different name. And in those places, they sell sandwiches and side dishes. And of those side dishes, it's mainly cottage cheese, potato salad, macaroni salad, and antipasta. Chips or cookies, Obama? Dude, I've talked about this so many times, I can't express it enough. I don't care about Michelle Obama. She's done nothing to me personally other than one thing. Her politics don't bother me because she's never held an office. She's just sucked the dick of a guy who held office. Okay? She's not going to be president, probably. I'm not going to rule it out because Joe Biden's dying. And she's one of the only Democrats with clout. So I'm not going to rule it out. But, that rhymed. I do hate Michelle Obama. And I'll explain to you why. Now, you may be looking at me as a 28-year-old and be like, yo, Josh, you're not skinny. Obviously, you've never had a problem with food. My argument would be the actual problem is that my childhood was so struggling with food that once I got enough money to have food, I couldn't stop eating and I got fat. Okay? And you know who caused part of that? Michelle fucking Obama. Because I was homeless. I was in high school. I had no money. I had no food. I had no nothing. Okay? The only access to food I had was school lunches. Okay? Freshman year, Obama's not president, right? It's still George Bush. What a guy. Okay? I go to lunch on Fridays. I get these big hoagie sandwiches. Philly steak sandwiches on a hoagie roll with cheese. I can put hot sauce on it with ranch. I can sprinkle lettuce and tomato, some jalapenos on it. Oh, life was good. Okay? Obama gets elected. Okay? I went to a racist school. They weren't happy about it. Okay? But I didn't care. Because I was like, you know what? I'm living my life. Everything's fine. And then one day I show up after a summer break of Obama being president, and Michelle Obama takes over the fight against obesity. And my school lunches literally shrunk 3 sizes like it's the fucking Grinch's heart, negative side, like the inverse of the Grinch's heart. My school lunch shrunk 3 sizes that summer. And I was hungry every day of my life for 9 fucking months. And then I ended up working illegally for some Indians at a food place that gave me free food. And what did I do? I stuffed my face because I was always hungry. And then I had paychecks. And even when I wasn't at work, I was like, I have money. I can buy food. Oh, McDonald's. Oh, Burger King. Oh, Pizza Hut. Domino's. Yeah, just fucking eating, filling myself up to look like a Macy's Day blimp, right? But it's all because Michelle Obama made me hungry 45 minutes after I left lunch. Thanks, you dumb cunt. And you wonder why I call you Big Mike like the rest of them. Do I think you have a dick? No. Doesn't make any sense why a president would risk that. But also, fuck you, Big Mike, because you gave me a small lunch, you dumb cunt. You don't have to apologize, Jared. Highest sake is my raid choice. Okay, so I'm assuming what we talked about earlier. Yeah, I mean, well, clearly we don't even have 8. Yeah. No, you're good. I got you, bro. We still have 15 minutes to see if we get people in here, but I got you. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is I am going to. What I have here is the notebook I've been using for the last year. So it's the last podcast episode of 2023. I am going to go through page by page and choose one thing off of each page to read and talk about. So, starting at episode 93. I know you guys can't read that because it's white. But, starting in episode 93, let's see what we got here. Okay, I read an article in the New York Times saying that exercise was a result of white supremacy. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this clip, but it was a very funny clip where Sam was sitting here, and I told Sam, that's why I can't get skinny, bro. For 2 reasons. 1, I can't do any diet because I'd have to cut out trans fat, and the LGBT community would be upset with me. So I can't go on a diet because I'd have to cut out trans fat. And I can't exercise because exercise is a version of white supremacy. And that's why all the weights at the gym are black. Because white people are like, get it away from me. Get it away from me. Get it away from me. I don't know why we gave them such better genetics on those plantations with that selective breeding, but we should do selective breeding. But it's weird, if white people start talking about selective breeding, they either get called racist, or they get called a bigot, or they get called a fucking Nazi. And I'm just saying, well, how come we can't have Viking-style white supremacy? Vikings would kill ugly and weak women. They would kill ugly and weak men. And here we are, 1,000 years later, and Vikings are still big, buff, sexy men, and the women are the top 3 hottest women on the fucking planet, and they don't even wear makeup. So I'm just saying, I don't get it. Okay, moving on, because we were about to go down a weird wormhole. Okay, episode 94. Let's pick one from this page. Okay, an Italian mafia boss, one of Europe's most wanted, was finally caught after he had been on the run since 1993. There's a lot of white selective breeding. That's why England has 4 face types. Selective and limited breeding are 2 different things, okay? This is my theory about Japan, okay? Oh, dude, I don't have enough time to get into this. Okay, anyway, my theory on Japan is Japan is one of the only places on the planet where 66% of the people that are born are female, only 33% are born are male. And my argument is on that island, they have selective breeding. Not selective breeding, they have limited breeding, which means they can only breed with themselves because they didn't venture out, they didn't have a lot of influx of people for thousands and thousands of years. So, and in that thousands and thousands of years, the men died at an exponential rate over women, and that's why your DNA chose to have more women than men, because they needed to grow the population, because when men were dying at a much higher rate, so you needed to have way more women spitting out way more kids. So that's why Japan is one of the only places on the planet that has that ratio of birth rate. Now, I could also make the same argument for England. England is on an island. For a long time, for a lot of their history, they couldn't fraternize with other countries because they had to be loyal to the crown. They had to do this, they had to do that. And then they were forced marriages and like, I'll give you 2 goats and a fucking pixie stick if you let me fuck your daughter for the rest of eternity and force her to have kids and shit. And that's why that's happening. So I think all islands are exempt to what I'm talking about. Moving on, dude. An Italian mafia boss, as one of Europe's most wanted, finally got caught after he was on the run since 1993. So he got caught early of 2023. He had been on the run since 1993. He had been on the run for 30 years, which is older than I am. I'm still not 30 yet. This guy was on the run for more than 30 years. Now you may be wondering, why did they still care about this guy? Oh, did you ever hear about how the Italian mafia is famous for car bombings in England and London? I mean, in England and Ireland and stuff? That was this guy. He was the guy who was doing the car bombings. You know the Irish car bomb? That's this guy. Okay. Moving on. Okay, let me see. Episode 95. I mean, none of this stuff is interesting, but I'll just read this one. Egyptian tomb with 10 mummified crocodiles. So basically, Egyptians who literally didn't know anything about metal, the only metal they knew was copper, apparently. They were using stone tools, but somehow made the pyramids and shit. They also figured out how to not only capture, but then mummify crocodiles and put them in a tomb. So, you know, kudos to them. Let's see, episode 96. 10 mummified crocodiles is wild. It really was, bro. When I went on that rant about 10 mummified crocodiles, dude, like, you know what's even wilder is I can't prove this, and I've never looked it up, but I do have a feeling that crocodile wasn't originally named crocodile. I think because they were so famous with the Nile, I truly believe that it was called crocodile for a while. Okay, I wrote grandfather banned from the US after accidentally clicking the terrorist box on his visa application form. Dude, we all know those fucking forms. Like, we have to fill stuff out on the internet. Dude, if it takes more than 5 minutes, by the end of it, I'm just clicking shit. And my man's accidentally clicked he was a terrorist. Can we break this down for a second? Imagine you are a terrorist. I know that's not hard to do with how crappy the politicians have treated us recently. But imagine you are a terrorist. And you have plans to do something crazy like 9/11. And you want to use a plane. You're going to hijack a plane and you're going to do something crazy. Okay? And you're like, you wake up that morning. And you wake up, you're brushing your teeth, you're like, death to the infidels, fuck America, America's this bullshit, fuck America, I kill. Okay? And then you're vibing, you put your fucking vest on, you get your shit ready, you know, you're fucking ready to kill people. You get to the airport, they're like, you have to fill out this survey. And on the survey it says, are you a terrorist? Oh, they got me. And then you have to put yes, or you either have to say yes, and then you just end up not filling out the survey and you just walk away. That would never happen. I don't understand. Like, what is this for? Because in corporate America, what this is for is if you agree to it and then you break that rule, they can charge you for it later. Is this a type of thing where, like, this is America's safeguard where we can make sure they go away forever no matter what? Like, hey, on your visa, you clicked you weren't a terrorist and it turns out you were. So now you go away forever. Bad, bad little boy. You're a bad, bad little terrorist. What the fuck is happening? Moving on. Episode 96. Uh, Downies and brownies. Should we advertise for them? I remember this. There was a group of Down syndrome people in New York that came together and used their disability money. If you want to be mad about that, Republicans, you can be, I guess, you fucking dorks. But they used their disability money to fund their own brownie shop. So 7 people with Down syndrome, like full-blown Down syndromes. You know, the ones with the butts shaped like Mewtwo. Like if they had different colors, they'd look like Mewtwo. And then they have the hands like little fucking Vienna sausages. You know what I mean? Like those guys. Okay? And ladies. Those guys and ladies. They brought together their disability funds and created a brownie shop called Downies and Brownies. We got 21 flavors. We got 22 chromosomes. Come on down to Downies and Brownies. Get yourself some fucking brownies. All right. Let's see. Next episode. Oh, Canada's Punxsutawney Phil cousin, Fred Lamont, dies before making his prediction. I remember this episode, one of my favorite episodes of all time. The day that I went hard on Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, for having magical fucking groundhog, dude. And I thought we were special. But it turns out fucking Canada had their own magic groundhog to tell whether winter was coming early or not. What a time, dude. What a time, dude. Episode 98. Well, I guess this would have counted under like my new segment that I'm starting. 2 dumb jokes per week. I guess this would have counted as one of those. What does a rapper that's being charged by the FBI with a sore throat say? Ricola. Now, if you don't understand that joke, I would say it with much more enthusiasm on stage, but the base of that joke is rappers have been being charged recently under RICO law based on their lyrics for selling drugs and killing people and so on and so forth. Okay? So if you are a rapper who's being charged by the FBI, you're probably being charged with a RICO law. But if you have a sore throat, you'd be using a Ricola. Okay? And then Ricola has Ricola as the theme song. So then, if you were a rapper being charged by the FBI, but you also had a sore throat, you'd be saying Ricola. It's pretty self-explanatory, guys, but I'll explain it to you for the dumb fucks. Oh, this is also the day that East Palestine had the Chernobyl train. Self-explanatory. Well, dude, you know, it's in the past, dude. I don't want people to get confused. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to not understand the joke. That's my biggest problem, is I don't know if people are going to get the joke or not. Because there's been so many times in my life where I say a joke and people don't get it. But then I explain the joke and they're like, haha, that's funny. But it would have been funnier if they were smart enough to get the joke to begin with. So am I too smart to be funny? Damn, bro. What a question. Am I too smart to be funny? I'm pissed. Fair enough, Jer. Did I ever end up sending any aid to East Palestine? No, I did not, sir. See, this is why. Because I knew that the real Palestine was going to be under fire in the future. See, 1 calendar year ago today, we were worried about East Palestine. And now we're worried about real Palestine. Because before it was just trains coming at East Palestine. Now it's the Jews who are haters of trains, for obvious reasons, shout out Hitler, are now running a train on the actual Palestinians. You know, I'm no geopolitical military major, but color me fucking confused because a year ago it was East Palestine, now it's regular Palestine. Before it was trains, now it's people that hate trains. I mean, some things are just too weird to not be written in a script. Like Mason Rudolph, the third string quarterback for the Steelers, making his start 2 days before Christmas and scoring the most points the Steelers have scored since we had a fucking clock tower as our quarterback. Shout out Big Ben. What's happening, my boy? Okay? I don't believe what happened in that bathroom stall. That bitch was a hoe. Okay? So, my whole point is, I don't have a point. That's allegedly lame. We don't have to have points. We just say words. Okay, moving on. I almost got caught up. I forgot I was going through fucking days, dude. I was about to start ranting about that forever. Okay, episode 100. Nope, we skip episode 100 because some dumb fucking little slut is accusing me of... Never mind. You know what? Actually, episode 100. Hitler killed more than 1,000 people, I think. Shout out Evely, you dumb slut. Okay. Dude, Flacco? You mean one of the greatest playoff quarterbacks of all time? Coming in crunch time? Doing well? I'm not surprised. If I could choose right now, the Steelers quarterback room would be Mason Rudolph and Big Ben Roethlisberger, and we'd trade Kenny Pickett for a Capri Sun and a fucking pixie stick, dude. I'd take a 46-year-old Ben Roethlisberger because he understands defenses more than I'd take Kenny Pickett. Because even though Ben Roethlisberger had Tommy John surgery and he can only throw about 35 yards down the field, Kenny Pickett can throw that far downfield and he doesn't even understand defenses. Fuck yeah, go Steelers. I love it. I love being a Steelers fan right now. The only Super Bowls I'm ever going to see were when I was a kid and I barely remember. Fuck. Dude could be 400 pounds at this point. We'll see, Neil. That's why I was so... I'm going to clip that one thing and I'm going to put it out there. Big Ben's been doing a podcast recently specifically about the Steelers and their offense, and he looks good to the point where there's an entire Reddit thread and people on Pittsburgh Mark Madden's comment section openly advocating the Steelers go get Big Ben back. Because he actually looks skinnier than he ever looked playing for the Steelers. He's a vegetarian now. He quit drinking alcohol. Basically, the dude quit playing football, became a good guy. No, I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking. I know you think I'm joking because I'm always joking, but I'm not joking. He literally quit football, became a vegetarian, quit drinking, found Christianity, started being a father to his kids, and did a podcast about the Steelers offense and says he wants to be an offensive coordinator. He looks skinnier than he ever did when he played quarterback, and I'm sure he could throw better than Kenny Pickett. Dude. Our defense is so good we could be a playoff team, bro. Dude, I want to punch Kenny Pickett right in his stupid face. Episode 101. If he's smart, he won't go back. Oh, he's not going back. He's not going to come back as a quarterback. He might come back as an offensive coordinator. Okay, moving on. Episode 101. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'll leave it up to you guys. Do we want to stop at episode 101? And we will continue the 2023 stories of the past next week? Or should I just keep going and try to speed up? Because I feel like this is going really well and it's pretty funny, kind of. We've only made it through 5 episodes in 20 minutes. And I feel like it's been good talks. Continue? Okay. Episode 101. Okay, Hershey's chocolate. Next week, in my opinion. Okay, we can do it next week. Because I feel like this is going good. Like, be honest. This is going pretty well. Me talking about things I've already talked about. And, like, in memoriam. Kind of. It's pretty good. It's pretty enticing stuff. My only concern is that if there's somebody here that slings sausage, he's going to interrupt me every 5 minutes. Make it a segment. Ooh, I guess I could. I could line it up and make it on this week last year. Okay, so I would have to go. So we did 93 to 101. That would be. Oh, we could just start. It's fine. We'll just start it at 101 for next week. That's true, dude. That's true. Always, never a bad time to do that. I just like, I was vibing. I'm vibing, dude. I just know it's the day after Christmas. People are still doing stuff. We don't have a lot of viewers right now, so I don't want to waste the good content. Because, like, I'm back on my shit, dude. The last 3 weeks I've been on it. There was, like, 4 weeks where, like, I'll admit, I wouldn't have watched myself. Like, I would have quit watching if I was a fan. But I'm back, and I just gotta maintain and keep moving forward and start thinking of sketches. And that's gonna be my thing. Hold on, let me write this down. I need to write this down. 2024 things I want to keep doing. 2024. 2 jokes per ep. Two jokes per episode. I want to do sketch idea convo at the end of an episode at least once a month. And then I kind of want to get back into the having a singular topic that I start on. So I'm going to start asking or picking a topic. Probably start that after next week. So, topics. Okay. So, 2 jokes per episode, no matter how dumb or fucking ridiculous they are. Sketch idea convos. So, like, I come to you guys and I talk to you about my ideas for a sketch of what I want to film coming up. And then we can talk about the cheapest way to make them. You guys can give me ideas on how I'm going to make the sketch shorter or less expensive or needing less people. Things like that. And then I want to get back into the topics. I've kind of got away from the topics because I had this weird mentality of me and Sam had already talked about everything me and him are interested in. And like in my mind, I had the same idea with jokes as I had with topics, where you can't visit a topic twice, or you can't talk about the topic the same way you talked about it before a bunch of times. But I listen to podcasts on a regular basis, and there's podcasts that regularly talk about the same thing they've already talked about. And since we haven't grown an audience very large over this extended amount of period of time, I feel like I can talk about things I've already talked about without it being super repetitive. Now, it may be repetitive to you, Neil, or you, Jer, but keep in mind when I'm saying things, I'm not just thinking about you. I'm thinking about people that maybe have never been here before and things like that. But that's my new motto for going forward in 2024. It's all going to be about more interesting, more repeats if it's warranted, until we grow. Once we grow, I can get nitpicky on myself, But right now, if I have to say the same joke 5 weeks in a row because it's a smacker and people like it, I'll fucking do it. I had this dumb idea in my head. I want to do things my way, but I've come to the realization that you don't grow with the algorithms the way they are, doing things your way. You have to play the game. And to play the game, I will cater. And catering is what I do. I'm a fucking chef. Repetition is imperative. Repetition is imperative, but also there's a fine line between saying a joke when only you and Neil are here, and then saying it the next week again when there's more people here, and then if it so happens the third week there's even more people, I say it again. Last year I would have not done that because I would have thought to myself, I already said the joke once. Don't do it again. Because if somebody already heard it, they're going to think I'm not talented just repeating things I already said. But I've come to the realization that I was holding myself to a standard that doesn't even exist with the professionals. Nope, you're absolutely right, Jer. You're absolutely right. And that's what I'm coming to realize, dude. We have to acknowledge, and I have to acknowledge that the last, not 2 weeks ago or last week, but before that, basically before December, from late July to December, I was not where I needed to be. I was not funny. I was too angry. I was too sad. I wasn't where I needed to be. I was too self-doubting. And I'm fucking back, baby. I'm fucking back. Neil, I don't know if you think Jer meant something he didn't mean, but what he meant was when we were in Texas, there was comedians that got to go up 3 times, and they did the same set all 3 times. So what that means is that we were the only people that stayed for the entire 4 hours. So we were the only people to see the same guy 3 times. And I think what Jer's trying to get across to me is that I don't need to be different every time I talk. I can repeat things to make them better. And I agree with that. Fuck that. See, Neil, I'm right there with you, bro. That's how I've been the whole time. But also, if I say a joke that I think is really good, when it's just me, you, and Jer in the chat, don't hate me if I say it again when we have 9 viewers. Or, God forbid, if we make it up like one of the jokes that I made a long time ago that I still love, right? If we end up at 25 viewers, if I say it again, like, my worry is that you guys are going to judge me and you guys are going to think I'm less talented. But I got to stop thinking like that because that's not the truth. The truth is that the people that you see aren't as talented as you see them because you're not watching them every day like you're watching me. You don't see them fail on a regular basis like I fail. And that's the whole gist of it. Wasn't fully the same one. I mean, it was like the same, it was like the gist of it. Like, Jer, even if I go up with the intention of making the same set 3 times in a row, just based on like, you know how like I kept telling you stop yelling out when the guy would ask a question? Well, that's why it would be different. Because the yelling out and the responses make things different. But in his mind, he went up with the same ideas every time. That's the thing about stand-up that unless you go watch it, you don't get. I may not respond to the joke every time you say it, but I'm not going to click close the video. LOL. I didn't think you would, but like, I'm an overcritic, which means I'll be a fan of somebody. Okay, this is a perfect example. Andrew Schultz. I think Andrew Schultz is a top 5 comedian right now. I think he's a top 10 podcaster right now. But there's something he does that bugs me when he does it. Okay? I still listen to every episode. And he does the thing that bugs me every episode. But it's not the entire episode. It's not the whole concept of the episode. It's not nothing like that. But I still listen. But when I was in my head, I'd be like, ooh, don't do that because I don't like that. And I know that would, in my head, I go, ooh, that's not fun. I don't really want to listen to that, but I'll listen to it anyway. I was listening to every other podcaster and then taking it as a fan, everything I liked. And then trying to implement all of that to this instead of just being myself. And when I'm myself and I'm not overthinking, the shows are way better. And that's just facts. And this has been too long explaining. So let's fucking get out of here, dude. Okay, so next week, hopefully we have a good bit of viewers. Okay? I'm going to talk about how racism is or is not natural. Is racism natural? That's the question. We will talk about episode 101 through this an undisclosed amount of episodes to have fun. I will have more things. I will have 2 jokes that I come up with. 2024 Hurricane of Thoughts is coming at you with much, much more. Okay, what was your title? What was your raid title again? I fucking forgot. Hyasake. All right. Hurricane homies, I appreciate you being here. We went a little bit long this week, but that's okay. You know what it is. We're vibing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, racism may or may not be natural. And next week, Sam will be here saying weird shit like,
Daddy, chill.
And whenever you're feeling down, just remember that white people held black people down for so long that it's hard for them to understand textbooks, and teachers want to say things like,
Read, nigga, read! Read, nigga, read!
All right, goodbye, chat. Have a good day. Hurricane homies for life 2024. Expect more.